What's up, everybody? Welcome to Bios3 Raw TV. Here comes Bruno. We're going to talk a little bit today about the two different kinds of bodybuilders. Now, I guess it boils down to personalities, but it seems like, bodybuilding, they'll say there's like the typical personality in bodybuilding. The whole, want to be big, want to be swole, want to be alpha male type personality. But that's not what I'm really talking about, okay? What I'm talking about personality-wise, you have people that are somewhat OCD. That's not me. I'm not the OCD type. I'm the type that just is totally opposite of OCD, that just kind of lets things go and doesn't really worry about them. Then you have the type of person that's like me, which is the person that doesn't care. Now, the person that has the OCD tendencies is going to, bodybuilding-wise, make their meals, weigh everything out, be very, on point with everything. Excuse me, make sure their bag is packed, they have their towel, they have their straps, etc., etc. And then you have the type of person that will eyeball their foods and, forget their belt or forget their iPod at home and stuff like that. And both of these people are competitive bodybuilders, and both of them are going to be competing against each other. Now, one thing I noticed with the pros, and these are the guys that, or not even the pros, just the people that progress the fastest and are really kind of, setting themselves apart from the pack, are the people that have that OCD tendency to make sure that everything is squared away. Now, as long as what they're doing is correct, if you're getting the wrong information and they're being OCD about it, they're not going to progress. And then every once in a while you get the guy who just doesn't care and stumbles upon a combination of diet and training, and he just, boom, takes off above everybody. Eventually that guy will get stuck at a point where he has to get that time management, OCD type attitude to be able to get to the next level. So now, you got guys like, Cutler. I use him for example because he started so young, much like myself, and right from the jump he understood that there was more to this than just fumbling his way through it as a teenager trying to, figure it out on his own. So what he did was hire Chris Aceto, had someone help him with his training, got the things in place he needed to get in place, and then was very OCD about having his meals, eating his meals, getting his training time, making sure he recovered, getting enough hours of sleep, like doing those things systematically to progress to that next level. And it's no secret that he got to the next level faster than, at that time, like faster than anybody had done it. And really in a fashion where he did it, where people would not really believe that he was 21 years old or 20 years old, whatever he was, being that big, conditioned, etc. And I remember hearing all the time, like, Jay's got to have some special exotic drug. He's got to be on tons of growth hormone. He's got to be on tons of insulin. He's got to do this. He's got to do that. He's got to do this. Well, 20-something years deep into his career, if that was true and he was fucking with so many hardcore drugs and stuff, he'd be fucking dead. And as most of us know, Jay is not the type to be that risky with a lot of things in life. He's very low-keyed about it. So being that, OCD about things had him progress faster. Now, me, on the other hand, not so OCD. I'd write stuff down in a notebook, and I'd make a plan, and I'd say, okay, this is what I'm going to do. And then half the time, I would change that plan. I wouldn't execute it. I'd maybe try it for like a day and go, okay, I have to change this. Maybe try something else for a day, and then a week later, I'd have a whole new fucking program. All right, this is the one I'm going to start now. Or, I never, stopped training, but I would just change things all the time, and it never was, I couldn't figure out what was working and what wasn't because I wasn't really paying attention. I wasn't eating right. I wasn't paying attention to what meals. When I was supposed to have, 8 ounces of chicken for a meal, and I'd go in the refrigerator. My mom had grilled chicken that my dad had grilled on the grill, and I'd throw a piece of chicken on it, heat it up, and eat it. So I don't even know how much I was eating. Whereas the guys who track their stuff, they're going to know what they're eating. They're going to progress. Now, there are the type of people that will track the macronutrients, track their training, but they're just fucking lazy. So they get good results, better than the ones of the guys that are not tracking them. And they start looking up to them like, oh, awesome, awesome, awesome. But there's there's 3 tiers. There's the person that's way OCD, the person that's OCD that's fucking lazy, and then the person that just doesn't fucking care. I was this one, Jay was this one, and I don't know, really, I don't know. There's other people that are the one in the middle. Offhand, I can't think of any, but they're there. So they progress faster, but then seem to never progress past a certain point because you have to get to that next level by being that much more meticulous about what you're doing. So if you have the OCD tendencies and, you have the right direction, you're probably not going to waste as much time as I did over 20 years trying to figure out what did or didn't work. But at the same time, you have to have the right information to make the stuff work. If you don't have the right information, it's not going to work. So be aware that you can write everything down all the time. Doesn't mean you're going to progress. You could fuck around in the gym all the time. Doesn't mean you won't progress. You could count every single macro and every single weight that you have and write it all down it may or may not work. Because what it boils down to is still having the right combination for you that's going to make you progress. But having that time management system and the OCD, tendencies actually works a lot in your favor. So just be aware that that's actually a good tool to have, and it's not a bad thing by any means. Actually, you know what? In life in general, it's not a bad thing because usually you're very organized and you have your shit together. Biohackertraining@gmail.com. Leave comments down below, but don't fight. www.biohackertraining.com is the blog, and we're the planning bicep, and we're out.